Sometimes in LabVIEW, you might have multiple values that you want to add together. You could easily just go to numeric and add a bunch of these add nodes, or what you can use is this compound arithmetic. So what this does is it's similar to how if you had a bunch of nodes, or even let's say you had to subtract. Let's say you had to subtract a value, the top value, and the second value, but then you wanted to add 2 and 3. This little node can do all of this. So its default state, you can see there's a little plus sign there. So if we were to run this, we get a result of 15, because these numbers added is a 15. What's interesting is you can see there's this vertical block there, and then there's 3 blocks that these wires plug into. If you right click, you can go to invert, and what that'll do is it'll just do the opposite of this addition. So now we'll have 10 plus 1 but minus 4. So if we run this, we get our 7. And it might be difficult to see on the screen capture here, but there's like a little ball on the end of this block showing that it is an invert of it. And this can be done for any of these values. This node also, it does its mathematics top down. So it would first add 10 and 11 and then subtract the 4. I'll just revert back. So one thing that makes this extremely powerful is right now it's just an addition because there's a plus sign in the very front of this block. But if we click on that, there's a little hand that appears, and we click on that, we can invert the whole thing, which what that does is it actually takes the output, which is a 15, and it just inverts it. So now we're actually at a negative 15. And once again, this is showing up because this is a double data type. But if we go to change mode, we have multiplying, and we also have some Boolean logic in here also. So multiplying, pretty straightforward. It just multiplies all the numbers. And then the same thing can happen. So it can be a little difficult sometimes inverting one of these values, but we can invert one of them. So I just inverted this 4, and we run it, so we get 2.5, and that is our 10 times 1, which is 10, divided by 4 is 2.5. So here's just a little example. I have it set to an AND, so if we run it, nothing happens. If we switch 2 of these on, still nothing will happen, but all 3 of them, now our light turns on, because this is an AND gate. But very similar if we invert this last one again, but now we run it, it's going to be a false. But now if this is down, and we run it, now the result is true. And this can also be done for, we have OR gate. So if any of these are true, they will just return a true unless they're all false. And then we have our XOR. The compound arithmetic node is a really powerful node in LabVIEW, especially under the numeric tab. It saves a lot of time, especially if you have a bunch of addition you need to do or subtraction. Instead of dragging all these nodes and making a mess, you can use just one of these to clean things up. And the great thing is you can drag it out to be as long as you want. And the cool thing is it works with Boolean, and it also works with numeric numbers. Hope this video was helpful, and stay tuned for more.